me take your time on to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Let me say good morning also to those of you viewing GBN TV, Channel 7, Channel 11, Channels 20. Good morning, welcome. Let me say also good morning to those of you via social media platforms, Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning, and thank you so much for being with us this morning. If you're just joining in, am I the first to tell you good morning? Well, good morning again. All the best, and certainly hope you're having an awesome Friday morning thus far. It's the 7th day of March 2025, folks. Yes, and it's budget day today, as some folks would say. It's the 2025 budget presentation will be today. The Minister of Finance is expected to, of course, present the budget today. So, folks, we don't have anyone scheduled in studio, and of course, when the budget do start, so we may be a shortened version of To The Point this morning. But I'll give you folks the option. Our listeners and viewers are the option of calling in, and of course, maybe you could express your expectations on the budget. What are you expecting for the budget today, and so forth. Let's hear from you. 435-2041. You have double the options as usual of calling in. You know the drill. Make sure devices in the background are turned off completely. Whether it's your television or the radio, once you make that decision to call in, make sure they are turned off or the volume is at minimal as possible, or you move to another location within the house where you would not get that feedback on air. It's a simple procedure. 435-2041. The lines are now open to you. Feel free to give me that call as we entertain those calls for the next couple of minutes. We do have our first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, morning, GT, morning to your listeners and your viewers. My concern is not so much about the budget. I think it will take care of itself. My concern is what is unfolding, the impact on the policies by the United States, policies and action, in particular issues to do with health, where sooner or later we will be affected by being punished for having Cuban-trained doctors, not only us, but other islands. And I think we should become awake and be more vociferous on rejecting that kind of policy where the powerful, the evil ones, dictate how people live in this world. We're already deprived of many basic things because of these people's culture of war and destruction. And I want to also look at what is happening in terms of, rather than try to solve the problem of climate, of hunger, and so on, they're going to invest in enormous amount of arms now, including Europe. We are heading to a future that is certainly uncertain, that is going to be problematic and confrontational and conflictual. And I think we have to be aware of that and open our consciousness or evolve our consciousness so that we'll be able to not to contribute or participate in the ongoing abyss. I mean, look what is happening. Gaza, and we are silent on it now. I mean, the other parts, the Congo, I mean, all of this, we are human beings. The earth is hot, heating up. The climate is messing up, and we are remaining silent and asleep. I think we need to wake up. This is why it's bothering me now. Not so much the budget. The budget will take care of itself.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed morning, and all the best for the rest of the day. 435-2041. You are, of course, invited to give us a call. 435-2041, both direct line and the WhatsApp. And of course, thank our first caller for getting the ball rolling. He didn't want to dive directly into the budget, as he mentioned. Yeah, the budget will take care of itself. That's what he mentioned. But he was have other concerns of what's taking place around the world. And he spoke a lot about the implications that for small islands as Grenada and other islands within, the region. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Morning, my brother.
How are you this morning, sir?
Not bad. Give thanks to the day the Lord had made.
So true, man.
It's amazing that we have so much talent in our country here, and it takes people on the outside to recognize some of the talent that Grenadians have. Now, I go as far back as we had an artist called Super P. He had a song called Everybody Peeping. Grenadian, you take that, they laugh at him, man. Oh, you talking about that thing. But yet for a while, he left Grenada and he went to Trinidad and he make it big down there in Trinidad. Everybody love Super P song, Everybody Peeping, people there behind window curtain peeping. It's just that other people recognize the talent and they appreciate and they enjoy certain things Grenadians have to offer. But why it is, back home here, we can't seem to see from up close how good and talented we local people are. Now you're hearing everybody talking about Black Adam, and Black Adam is the boss and this and that. Was he recognized in such a form here when our carnival gone?
Kola, if I could chime in on you for a minute, what do you think is the problem?
Well, I don't know how to answer that one. But it's just that I don't know, like we people here just can't see beyond the tip of our nose. We just cannot see. We don't have vision to see beyond the tip of our nose.
I understand, but you see, you started and you go back from way back. So typically you're saying it's nothing new, right?
No, it's nothing new.
It's nothing new. I mean, it's so, typically is a norm. He isn't the first artist who hasn't gotten that local recognition first.
Exactly.
You understand?
Who does be the judges? Who picking the judges for our festive operations here?
Well, I don't think the judges. I don't think the judges. In my personal opinion, I don't think the judges has a role to play in this. You understand? I think it's we as a people. They always, the Jamaicans say you have to learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad. Not something of that nature. But if for some reason we as a people we have the tendency of not recognizing our own first, and we have that outside mentality for some. If we could say it in that way. We always look outside before we pay attention to what's inside. You understand? I think that's the general problem where it lies among us. Right. And it's nothing new. It's nothing new of course, in Grenada.
You're right. And let me end on a different note. What happened to those pretty lights? We were on the carnage where they light up the carnage and make the carnage look nice, and all these tourists coming in, both spending night, people overnighting, and what happened to them? Like, since last year calling and asking, Christmas coming up, where the lights and what happened to the lights? Anyhow, I'll leave that day for
all right, sir. Have a good morning. Thank you once again. It's a pleasure having you on the program. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
All right, I'm fine. And you?
Doing good. Doing very well.
Okay, good. As a person who loves culture, I'm not necessarily into carnival.
Kola, I missed that last statement you made.
I'm not necessarily into carnival, but
okay.
I love culture. So if I hear a great song, I would listen, despite what. Okay? Now, everybody have a right to their opinion, and I respect it. But as a person who does maybe a little singing here and there, we have to understand that songs take time to build up, right?
I agree.
And as the performer performs this song over a period of time, their confidence usually builds up, so they perform it better and better.
You with me, caller? I think we lost you there for a bit. Caller, good morning once again.
No, I'm here.
Okay, go right ahead, please. I'm here.
Yeah. If you don't know a song, most people would listen before they get into the song, right? Yes. When you're performing the song, the performer may not get the kind of response because the people are learning the song, right?
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree.
They are learning it and they are getting into it.
I think think we may be having a little bit of a connection problems there with that caller for some reason or the other. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings. How are you?
Doing good, sir. What about you, sir?
Well, I'm happy to hear that, Mr. Telesford, so many things are said. I don't know where to start, the truth is, because so many things to comment about, but I want to comment on an issue which was a news item during the week, and it was that building of a quote-unquote akin to a palace, a mansion, related to the residents of the central bank, the OECS Central Bank. You heard of that story, did you, Mr. Telesford?
I have, sir. I have. Yes. I've been following it also. Yes.
But I have a problem. Here's where the problem is. Of course, I join the sentiments. I do agree with the sentiments expressed by Ralph Gonsalves. Because it's abusive, I believe. Why is it a man can't live in a regular house? He's the governor of a bank, but he's not the world. He's not a king. He's not anything like that. Even if he were a king. But the question is, didn't Mr. Gonsalves, as the Prime Minister of an OECS territory, and whose son is the Minister of Finance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, know about this activity prior to the, so you call it again, the turning of the sun? This had to have been discussed at the level of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, the central bank, and all. They just celebrated 40 years and whatnot. And what very nice it was, very impressive. He is telling me today that he never knew that. Now that the building is almost to finish. That rings a bell to me, Mr. Telesford, and I have a duty to express my opinion on this, is that there is much, much more in that mortar beside the pestle. Very much, much more. And we have to continue to delve into this matter, investigate it. Why wasn't it identified in its conception, in its planning, when I refer to the plan, I mean the drawing up of the plans, the artist's conception, the author have had all of that. It had to have been discussed in the monetary union. It had to have been discussed as related to the budget and how much it would cost, etc. That was never divulged. The first time the Caribbean people knowing about this thing is now just about the things ready to finish. There's something fishy there.
All right.
So we look forward to it. I want to give somebody, because the things are just lining up in my head, Mr. Telesford, but I can't take all the time. So
all right, sir.
Maybe
Thank you.
I'll come back.
Thank you. Have a good morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning, sir.
Listeners, Mr. Telesford, we have some very opulent minds in Grenada and in the Caribbean, and we must recognize them. However, the opulence is not always in our interest. Moving on from there. One of the callers is the point about why don't we recognize our own. Well, we should look right in Grenada and see what is taking place. We don't recognize our fishermen who provide food and fish to us. They are no good people. They didn't go to school. That's how we look at them. That's how we treat them. We treat the farmers that way also. So therein lies our problem. We probably have to redesign our school system and our values and what we do and what we accept as being great and good to us. If the sun doesn't shine at any time, we all on this earth would die. Looking forward to the budget now. I certainly hope that the government would be able to do
connection issues there with the WhatsApp. My apology goes out to the caller there. We lost that caller there a wee bit because of the connection problems. 435-2041. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes. So they was talking about the new artist that is coming back from Trinidad that made it so good in Trinidad. And I understand we having a motorcade and a welcoming thing for him at the airport. And I know we're a small island, but oh God, we have to have, is that in the this budgeting for these sort of welcome, the motorcade, and next thing they're going to do, they're going to make him a doctor too. Every little thing is a motorcade and welcoming, and they're giving him a doctor. He going to be doctor, artist next, just like Dr. Karani. We need to stop it here in this Grenada. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435. I don't think the conversation went that far in terms of him will be offered a doctorate or anything of that nature, but I don't think the conversation went that far. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I listen to your program.
Caller, you have something loud in the background. Please take care of it.
So tell John Rollo, if he care about Grenada, he'd never do what he do in his life. That's why he's suffering now.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning. Talk me. Of course, I don't think of a conversation is going to that level. I don't want anyone coming on the show and attacking someone else for whatever personal reason or personal thought you're having about someone. Save that for your private conversation. I beg of you. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
I was listening to the news on day before, I think, GBN, lunchtime news, and they spoke about St. Vincent's Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, making statement or allegations about an exorbitant amount of money that was spent for the residents of the current central bank of the ECCB. The question I would like to ask is that because the information came out in a senseless way, in my opinion, because there is a board of directors. 1, 2, does the governor has that authority to unilaterally spend such a huge amount? The question is, the residence that Dr. Gonzalez spoke of, currently, is the residence that the governor occupies, is it rented? If so, what's the cost per month and what would have been the accumulated amount over time? The current residence that has been built, will it house the office of the governor? Will it have facilities for accommodation? Will it have conference rooms, etc., etc.? I say this because the level of journalism in my assessment is ugly, because a thorough investigation was not conducted, and I do believe that investigative analyses must be completed before such a pronouncement is made. Based on what the ECCB has been telling us, there is a board of directors. So the governor does not have sole authority in doing anything he chooses or anything he wants. I wish we, the people of the OECS, could have had the opportunity to hear the governor's side, or to be intelligent enough to remember a story has more than one side. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041. We can accommodate probably another call before we take a break in this segment. 435-2041. And let me get my break all lined up just in case our call doesn't come with the next couple of seconds. We go for that break and then we come back once again. Don't forget, it's budget day today, folks, and the 2025 budget presentation will be held this today and it should be around 9:30, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock this morning, hopefully, and we'll be carrying it live for you here on Classic Radio and GBN Television. Folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with your calls. Let's hear from you this morning. I wish I could have more calls from folks giving their views in terms of what is expected from the budget today, or what they feel, or their expectations, I should say, of the budget presentation today. But nevertheless, let's take that break. We're coming right back. Don't touch it down.
Grenada, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. The Spice Mass Corporation presents The Unveiling, where elegance meets excitement in a night of beauty, artistry, and anticipation. On March 14th at 8 p.m., the Trade Center Annex transforms into a spectacle of grace and grandeur as 7 remarkable contestants are revealed, each vying for the coveted title of National Carnival Queen 2025. Indulge in an evening of live music, captivating performances, and pure enchantment. Dress to impress. Formal, fiery, bold, fearless. Enjoy complimentary wine on arrival as you immerse yourself in the magic. Tickets are $100, food inclusive. Available now at Go to Fet, Grenadian Optical, Town and Grand Anne's, and Gittins Pharmacy, Grand Anne's. The Unveiling, March 14th at 8 p.m. A night of elegance, a moment in history. Will you be there?
Right Choice Promotions in association with Investment Migration Agency of Grenada, together with our Riser Credit Union, presents the inaugural Virgin Parish Relay Meet. This is the real Mini Olympics, Saturday, March 8th, Lassages Playing Field in St. David. Relay action featuring the top clubs and schools from across Grenada, competing for cash prizes and more. Come see the nation's best athletes as they prepare for Intercall and Carifta Games 2025. First call to action is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, featuring live entertainment and excitement in the tug-of-war competition. Admission $10 adults, $5 children. Come to Virgin Parish, St. David on Saturday, March 8th for the Virgin Parish Relay Meet. Come share in the excitement and speed and see you there.
Welcome back once again, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're taking your calls live this morning. Let's hear from you. Let's go back to the phone line. I guess we lost that caller. 435-2041. Don't forget, you'll also call via the WhatsApp, 435-2041. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, I would like you to do me a favor, please.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
One of these morning, you must invite Mr. John Ulu to come on your program. I have a lot of questions to ask him because I find he's very brilliant and people trying to make a monkey pants time, you know.
All right, sir. Thank you. See how that could be arranged. Have a good morning.
All the best, Mr. Olo. Long live, sir. Long live.
Have a good morning, sir. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number. You can go live when you call that number here on the program this morning. Doubly options for you to call in via the WhatsApp and also the direct line. Let's hear from you this morning. It's budget day here in Grenada. I posed the question when we started the program this morning. What are your expectations for the 2025 budget, which will be presented today? What are your expectations? And let's hear from you. If there are some other concerns you may like to raise this morning, feel free to do that also. 435-2041. The lines are opened. Let's hear from you this morning here on the program. Those of you who drive along on the nation's roads, or as I always would say, drive along with that due care and attention. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, doctor. How are you today?
Doing good, sir. How about you this morning?
Just quiet.
All right.
Okay, my expectation of the budget is two areas.
Tell me.
First is that I think I'm expecting the government to unveil the purchasing of its heavy equipment for the purpose of infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And two, a serious road infrastructure development up East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah? That's my two expectations.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your call. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're live. Seems to be having that bit of a connection issue this morning. Yes, WhatsApp caller, you're live. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, hello. I am calling from the diaspora. I haven't got nothing to say on the budget because I don't live there. But I come Grenada.
Yeah, at least you should have some concern being Grenadian, right?
Yeah. Listen, I calling on the back of that caller who said Mr. Roll should come on the program. I said that last year. I never.
I don't want the issue. I don't want the caller for 1 second. I don't want the issue of Mr. Rollo to be dominating the program this morning. Please, all right. I just don't think it's a direction we want to go. He's as everyone else who calls in and makes his contributions, and of course he makes it and moves on. Everyone has the opportunity to do the same. So making him the focal talking point this morning, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I appreciate your call. Is there anything else you would like to speak about, sir?
No. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good morning. 435-2041. That's the number if you want to get on the program this morning. And you certainly have the option of going live this morning when you do call in. 435-2041. The lines are open. Let's hear from you folks. Your views, your concerns relate to a particular issue you want to talk about. Let's go back to the phone line. See who we have on the line. Caller, you are live. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, some of the guys that spoke before, one of the callers said that we like to hear Mr. Timothy's side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he come and explain to the OECS people on behalf of that expensive building.
All
because honestly speaking, when I hear over $22 million residents, you know, when I look at that building, I say to myself, wow, that's what we call it a real mafia, you know, style of building, you know, nice designs and whatever. But I don't think it's Timothy bidding for sale. I don't think that he is a man that really, I mean, he's behind it because he's a governor, but in the true sense, it have more to the story because we're talking about Gonzalez, but even on Sam Croydon last night, he supported Gonzalez on behalf of what he had said. And he was speaking about like a king ready to go, you know, in a palace, you know. And in a true sense, we have to look at it in the other side and see what will be spending.
Right. Well, hopefully, Cole, I hope we get the other side of the story pretty soon. The CCB, of course, they will have a release out, hopefully. And we hear the side. All for now, we are dominating one side of the story.
Just making another assumption right now in our controversy, but in the true sense, we have to hear that the next side, you know.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. On the question of the budget, I certainly hope that the brains that we have utilized in Grenada for budget purposes and for economics realize that there is a large area besides the value of our people. We have more water than land as a state of Grenada. And if we learn to utilize those waters, help the fishermen, the people who utilize the resources from the sea, we don't have to sell any passports to be a rich country. So I certainly hope that is in the budget, that there is a big program for...
All right, that bit of a connection issue seemed to be dominating a wee bit this morning via the WhatsApp. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Thank you very much. President, good morning. My thing about it is I would like to see roads, feeder roads, farm roads. You know, there's much talk about food security, but I'm not seeing the action really and truly. I'm only hearing of the talk. And then the people that probably are involved, I mean, they're working for a monthly salary, so every month they get in a pay and whatnot, so they don't really feel in the rush. You know what I mean? Like for me, example here, cocoa is in season now, and I have to pick cocoa, and I have to walk about, 400 yards, you know, from to my land to pick cocoa, you know, and go with tools, bucket and whatnot, and walk back with these buckets of cocoa and whatnot. And I mean, they started the road, and I appreciate that, but I think much more should be done, could be done, and you know, I look forward to this kind of a budget thing, food security thing, man.
All right. So that's what you would like to hear presented in the budget along those lines. What is budgeted for those areas?
I don't want to hear it. I want to see action. You know.
Well, I guess it has to be budgeted for first, then the action will take place.
And pretty last and whatnot. I mean, I suffer with that. I'm a 1 foot farmer. I've been farming 70 years of my life. You know, I own 3 acres of land, and maybe because I own 3 acres of land, the people in the seed program decide probably they're not going to set me up or feed me out. You know, I have to struggle. And I'm telling you here, I have to trek on my bottom about 300-400 yards with buckets of cocoa. You know, I make my own structure, my own whatnot, etc. I might get 2 guys to help me and whatnot, or pay 2 guys or whatnot, but the tribulation that I had to go through to get them things done. And them only talking. This Ministry of Agriculture and whatnot, too much talk. Food security is the password. Food security, you know. But I'm not seeing the action of food security because right now where I sit down here, I have cocoa to go and pick. And I have to walk about 300-400 yards. The guys are going with me, they're getting hours with me because they're willing to help, even if I'm giving them or paying them or whatnot, etc. But it's a problem. It's talking. I just budgeting. Look, 2 years ago, I heard the Prime Minister talking about trucks running on the road like racing cars and whatnot, etc. 2 years and a half after, trucks still running on the road, even worse than racing cars, and with this sort of loud horn and speeding and carrying on whatnot. I mean, I wonder what's really happening. Let's get serious in this place, man. We only talking much, man.
All right,
man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and can certainly hear your passion, folks. We may have to take a wrap for today's edition of To the Point. Pretty soon, we of course our budget presentation we'll be carrying the budget presentation for today. So that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To the Point. Thanks all who called in and made their contribution. Appreciate it a whole lot. And of course, we're going to take a wrap for today. And of course, the budget presentation comes up next. Stay with us, folks. Don't touch it out.